Hello and welcome to Real Health, and thank you so much for joining us today. Getting good fats into your diet is very beneficial for our mental and physical well-being. We often talk about the importance of making sure that you get enough omega-3 fats, as they are the healthier ones and extremely important for our brain health. The first feature from the Real Health Medicine cabinet today is an omega-3 supplement that's high in DHA. But first, let's chat to homeopath Dr. Werner about omega-3 and why is DHA an important component of this supplement. Dr. Werner, thank you so much for joining us in studio again today. It's great to have you here as always.
Thank you, Michael.
Now tell us, what are omega-3s? We hear about omegas and omega-6s, omega-3s, but what is omega-3 and what does it do in the body?
So omega-3 oils are essential oils that your body can't synthesize effectively.
Okay.
So
when you say synthesize, what do you mean?
your body can't make them effectively.
Yes.
Your body is able to manufacture a little bit, but it's very ineffective at doing it.
Okay.
So we actually have to get those fats from our diet.
Okay.
And they are polyunsaturated fatty acids. So they're really important because they are part of the cellular structures of almost all our cells. They're important for our nervous tissues. And they have a couple of roles in terms of helping to mitigate certain conditions and processes within the body as well.
Right. What would the best forms of omega-3 be in our day-to-day diet?
Yeah. Omega-3 in general is something that you don't really get in most vegetables.
Okay.
All right? So we have to get it from salmon, from oily fish.
Right.
That's the most well-known source.
Okay.
Some vegetables can also give us omega-3 oil, some oils,
Okay.
vegetable-based oils, for example, linseed.
Okay.
But it's not the specific omega-3 which is actually most beneficial to us.
Okay.
In terms of other sources where we can get omega-3 would be algae.
Okay.
And the interesting thing about the fish that we harvest for omega-3 is that fish can't actually manufacture omega-3 themselves either.
Okay.
They eat algae and then they accumulate omega-3 in their livers, which we then harvest, obviously, to manufacture omega-3 as supplements.
Right. So algae would be almost the, if you want to say, purest form of it because it's been unprocessed through a body of any kind.
It's the real source.
Okay. Interesting. What is omega-6 in the body and what does it do in the body?
So in relation to omega-6 is also important for our nutrition.
Yes.
Okay, it's also important. It has certain roles within the body, just like omega-3 has. But we get a lot of omega-6 in our diet anyway, in a typical westernized diet, because we use a lot of oils, plant-based oils, which are high in omega-6. If one eats a lot of meat, red meat, and it's been grain-fed, the cattle or the beef also accumulates omega-6 from that.
As the fish would do from eating the algae?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Just a slightly different fat, but it's the same principle.
Right.
So what happens is that we are actually taking in too much omega-6, which is or can set up a pro-inflammatory process within our body. So it actually causes inflammation. So because omega-3 is anti-inflammatory, it's beneficial for us to get it in.
Yes.
So we need to have a ratio between omega-6 and omega-3 closer to 1:1 or 2:1, depending on the sources that you would look at. Approximately 2:1, 1:1. So 2 omega-6s to 1 omega-3 or 1 omega-6 to 1 omega-3. What we should be supplementing, actually, because most people in the typical westernized diet do not take in oily fish on a regular basis.
Yes, it's not a common food that we eat.
Should actually be supplementing omega-3. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense. Should we also be, while supplementing omega-3s or aiming to get more omega-3s in the diet, should we also be aiming to get slightly less of the omega-6s, which we seem to be flooded with, from changing our diets to some degree? Sure.
So how would one do that?
That's
by switching the types of oil that you're using. Switching to things like coconut oil, for example. For cooking purposes.
Yes.
Olive oil for salads and vegetables, etc. You don't really want to cook with olive oil. You can at a very low temperature,
but it changes the structure of the oil and
and then it becomes
the benefits.
Then it becomes pro-inflammatory. And also, when you're eating beef, for example, rather go for grass-fed, rather go for proper organic farming type of sources of
Yes.
your meat that you are consuming.
You guys have discovered or created a product called Omega-3, which is an algae-based source of Omega-3. Tell us, you mentioned the fact that the fish eat the algae, which generates the source of Omega-3 in fish oil, but this is kind of going to source in the algae.
Correct.
How did you guys discover this?
Well, we've been looking for a very long time at the possibility of having an omega-3 supplement, but because in general we're a herbal company, FloraForce is a herbal company, so we wanted to stick to that ethos of having a vegetarian or vegan-friendly form of omega-3. So it's a philosophical thing that we've been searching for a long time.
Yes.
And my brother happened to be overseas at a convention where Nutra Ingredients, which is a very, very big convention, where they did a good search for looking for sources, etc. And we came across this one, which is from Switzerland.
Okay.
So it's sourced from Switzerland, imported from Switzerland.
Okay.
And we wanted to be sure that, it follows our ethos of not being genetically modified, those sort of things. So.
And as you say, it's vegan and vegetarian friendly, so it's a great source for those who don't want to have the fish oils.
Yes.
So now we've spoken about the different types of omega-3s, fish versus vegetarian sources. This is specifically DHA. Can you just clarify that for us?
Sure. So you've got different types of omega-3. You have ALA, all right, which we get quite a significant amount of in our diet anyway.
Yes.
And it's not the important one. The other two, EPA and DHA, they are the important ones.
Okay.
So most of your omega products contain a high amount of EPA and a small amount of DHA.
Okay.
Our Alvega product contains a lot of DHA. It's very high in DHA. Both of them have anti-inflammatory properties.
Yes.
They have very similar properties within the body. But specifically DHA has a far greater benefit to the nervous system.
Okay.
It's been shown to be beneficial to the brain development in the developing fetus,
Right.
or the embryo.
Okay.
So it's been shown to be beneficial to children who have been breastfed by mothers who have a DHA-rich diet.
Okay. Interesting.
To actually, it's been linked to decreased ADHD, for example, in those
very
type of
cool.
situations.
Sure.
It's been linked to, because it has a greater effect on the nervous system, it has more to do with the memory side of things than EPA does.
Yes, right.
So EPA has a much greater benefit within the skin and within the joints and those sort of things. And DHA more on the nervous system.
So again, going back to the point of Alzheimer's and things like that, it could have positive impacts.
Absolutely, the research is there that has shown that specifically with DHA, yes.
Now, supplementing in omega-3, is it something that you should be doing from a young age, or is it something that kind of, as you age, becomes more important to be doing?
It's actually that you should be doing it from a young age already. Get that balance correct.
Yes.
Simply because of the absolute evidence that have shown cognitive benefits.
Right, yes.
It makes no sense not to supplement.
Okay, and as you mentioned, from a fetal impact of a mother taking a supplement, it's quite clear there.
Yes, and also for the eye, it has a very big benefit to the eye.
Okay.
So if you think of how much time people are spending on televisions and
behind computers,
on their devices, etc. nowadays, it will be beneficial for the eye as well.
And Dr. Werner, where can we get this product from?
Sure, you can get Alvega capsules from Dischem.
Okay.
You will be able to get it from Clicks, Wellness Warehouse, and other smaller pharmacies will follow in future as well, and online from Faithful to Nature.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. Werner. Always great to chat to you, and this has been a really interesting discussion.
Thank you, Mark.